and let you know just how you make me proud. It's time to make up for the past. Hello. So it's 15 minutes into our time. Do you think we should start now?
Yes, please. We should start now.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
Adama.
we can start.
Hey.
Yeah, let's start. We are not for anyone. Hello.
All right. That's fine. Okay. So you're all welcome to the Node Women Knowledge Sharing session. Like we discussed last year, or early this year, we want to take a different approach. Okay, before I continue, am I audible enough to everyone?
Please increase it just a little.
Okay. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
really liking this. I'm liking the feedback. I like that you're all giving me feedback, so that's great. Um, okay, so yes, like I was saying, early this year, we agreed that we were going to take a different approach to our knowledge sharing sessions. And our goal for these sessions is to learn. It's knowledge sharing. So basically, we are learning from other people and we are learning through sharing what we know. So the more you talk about the things you know, the more your knowledge on these things expands. And so to kick it off, we have our first session on personal development planning. If you are following our stories on the vision board workshop we had last year, you'd find that a lot of us who participated in that event saw some growth and some progress or its impact in how differently we went toward planning for our year and all the things that we were able to achieve by visualizing our goals and planning towards the year. And that is why we are having this session again at the beginning of the year. It would have been great to have it in person where we can have the workshop and move around, share stationery, and create our vision boards again. But this is also fine. So, in this particular one, we are focusing mainly on personal development planning. And before I continue, I want to find out if we've all created, I mean, aside our resolutions, if we've created some sort of plan for the year. If you've created one, you can just give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see Bella. Bella, who else? Edith. Okay, so we all have um some plans for the year. And that's great because the year has already started. Like we've already ended. Today's the end of the first month, so it's great that we already have plans for the year. But today I'm just going to share a template that I've worked on personally that I want to share with you, and you could, pick some information from there to update your own personal development plan templates, the format in which you plan for your personal development, or just, it's knowledge sharing. So while I share my template, I'll be happy if we could all go into sharing our templates or how we go about planning ours. Are you with me? A thumbs up would do. Okay. All right, great. So we'll continue. Let me just go back to my slides. So now, even though we've concluded with a year, the first step I'd want us to consider is to reflect. And there's so much power in just sitting by yourself and thinking on things, meditating, sending your mind back to past experiences. So at this stage, you are taking a moment to think about 2025. Sorry, we are in 2025, so you're taking a moment to think about 2024, everything that you planned to do last year, how the year went for you. It's good that you do this because it's creates some form of self-awareness to know that okay, yeah, this was my life in 2024, and to just guide you in doing this, you are thinking on the highs of your year, what went well, what did you plan and what did you achieve, what were some of the things that were just so good for you last year. You are thinking also on the lows of last year, what didn't go so well, when did you feel like you were about to give up, or you just weren't feeling the year, like in the moment where you feel like, nah, this year was just terrible. You write those down. You're thinking on surprises. There were some things you didn't expect to happen. Like somebody I know who let me go through this please. Dorothy. Yeah, Dorothy said to me I'm in love. Nah, somebody like Dorothy, last year she didn't think she'll fall in love. Somewhere around December, I started seeing Dorothy posting love, love, love on her on her WhatsApp status. You can call that a surprise, something you didn't even plan for, but it happened. Maybe you didn't plan to get a scholarship. You didn't even think of applying for one, but somewhere down the line, someone encouraged you to apply, and you did, and you got it. That feels like a surprise. So you think you write those down as well. And then, okay, welcome back, Dorothy. I was just gossiping about you. Then you also want to think of, now that you've reflected on the things that went well, things that didn't go so well, things, some good surprises that came your way, you also want to think of, okay, so out of everything that happened last year, what do I want to carry over to the new year? Which of those experiences do I want to still experience this year? Or if you did something last year that you plan to do, perhaps you started going to the gym and working out, and you want to carry this into the new year, that is your carry over. So this is what I want to carry into the new year. So let me just take a step back. Your personal development plan, yeah, you're writing this down, right? So it's, even though you're reflecting, you're writing down to just sort of guide your thoughts. So after writing down the things you wish to carry over, you write down the things that you absolutely must not take into the new year. So, what did you do last year that was just so, I nearly cursed, but something that was so bad that you wish to never repeat in your life again? You don't want to do these things this year. Maybe you took a lot of nonsense from people last year. You don't want to do it this year. That is your absolutely not carry over into the new year. And any other thing you want to think about during your reflection that I've not listed here, from the 1 to 5, anything else that you want to think about, anything else you want to document, you write them here. Then we move to write a letter to your future self. Yeah, so I think I love writing letters. I love letters. I love everything letters, handwritten letters. So this might be peculiar to me, but I also think it's something you can do. You're writing a letter to your future self. And in this case, your future self is you in January 2026, right? So you're thinking of, for instance, today when we posted or him as oh, Dorothy. Dorothy, I don't like that. Anyway, so when we posted Ohima's story, there was something she said that stuck with me. She said what? She pictured the end from the beginning or something along those lines. So writing a letter to your future self is basically you thinking that this is who I'm going to be in January 2026. By the end of this year, this is who I'm going to become. And you want to talk to that person, right? So it could be anything, as I've written down there. It could be just you, anything you want to say to your future self. You plan to do something, just say, Yes, girl, you made it. You made it into the new year. And if you think this is corny, you can use an email so that, the serious people, you can use an email so that one feels more serious. But if you're like me, if you're a lover girl like me, like Dorothy is claiming, you can just take a very nice paper, spray some perfume on it to give you nostalgia. It's true, because in January, when you open the envelope and you take out your paper and the perfume hits you, it takes you back to what? January 2025, when you're thinking, okay, yeah, this is when I was writing and this is who I was then, and wow, I made it, right? Are we following? Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, great. Then yeah, so you do that, you write. If it's an email, you send it to yourself. Hey, I beg, I don't want this name to stick with me. Well, so you write the letter, you fold it nicely, you put it in an envelope, and you keep it somewhere safe, somewhere you can find it in January. Please don't be like those people that put their money in Susu box, opened this at the end of the year, and found was torn old money that some rats ate. Please don't do that to your letter. Keep it somewhere safe, and so that you can find it again in the new year. Okay, so now we've written a letter to our future self. Become to our ideal self. In SHS, when we took social studies, we went through self-actualization, self-discovery, real self, ideal self, blah blah blah. I think that was my most interesting subject in school. Like when I first went to high school, um I thought it was so practical. Like, yeah, now this is something I should be learning. And I think it was also because I was going through a personal, what do they call it? An existential crisis, or or personality complex, whatever they call it. And so that subject sort of brought my mind back to, all the self-awareness, personality, and all those things they taught us then. So your ideal self is who you want to be, the best version of yourself that you wish to become. So that may not be who you are now, like your real self. Your real self is who you are now, and what there are other selves, like what people think you are and blah blah blah. I can't go into all that because I've even forgotten all these things. But I know your ideal self is who you wish to become, the best version of yourself that you desire to become. And so you want to define your ideal self. I do this a lot because it gives me perspective. Like sometimes you see people and you say, okay, I wish I was like this person, but oh, I wish I was like that person. And there are several other people that you wish you were like, right? So you put all those personalities into one thing and you say, okay, this is who I want to become. And how do you define your ideal self? What are the things that are important to you? What are the things that matter most to you, right? So yeah, thinking mostly of your values, and sometimes your values are the things you grow up with. We pick most of them from our childhood, all through school, through adulthood. So you want to sieve through all these values that you pick along the way. And sometimes we do have values, but because we don't really reflect or meditate on our lives, we don't really know what are the things that are called to us. So you sit down with your book and you write down all these values. And there are some examples. You can look up values online and look up their meanings and understand better. Okay, is this something I identify with? Is this something that is important to me? And then you write it down as your values, and then you pick out a few of those. So you list them in order of importance. Which ones are the most important to you? If I lose myself at any point, what part of myself should I not lose? And those are your core values. So you write those down. You're thinking of your non-negotiables. This may not be values, but they are deal breakers for you. Like um Like when we say somebody's a no nonsense person, yeah, it could be like well, not a value, but a personality trait that you want to keep for yourself. That you want people to associate this with you. That nah, Dorothy, even though she goes about calling people lava girl and things, she's a no nonsense girl. Or Dorothy is very confident.
Hi, is it only me or your network is breaking?
I'm breaking it. Am I breaking to everybody?
No, but it's only you,
Please,
right?
Joanna, I think it's only Joanna. Where she is,
I
the
think
network
it's
is
the
not.
Kojobi air. I think it's the Kojobi air.
Is yeah, it's the Kojobi
Okay. Um,
representing.
I think you're mistakenly presenting.
Anyways, hi, perfect.
Hi,
Before
hi,
we
Adam.
continue, I'm
All right.
coming to interject. So, I happen to have my upcoming Women's Commissioner for Institute of IG. She actually showed interest when I posted it on my status. So, when it was time, I drew her attention, and she's here with us. Her name is
Oh,
Nana
nice.
Kune, and we are women. We love women things. Yeah. So that she doesn't leave it. I don't want us to stress.
Okay. Hi, Nana. Okay. Yeah, you can. I see your hand up. You can speak. Oh, you're just waving.
Yes, I felt I should wave, but thank you very much, Adama, my professional Adama. Thank you for the intro and thank you for this initiative, dear. It's a good
Yeah.
one, and I would encourage that it continues. We need people who will take us through things like this, encourage us, educate us on things we need to do. And
Okay.
I like the fact that some assertiveness is somewhere in there. Kudos. Thank you very much. And
You're
this should
welcome.
be the commencement of many to come.
All right. Yeah, minutes to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us and thank you for taking time to say a few words. We are happy to have you
Thank you.
and we wish you all the best in your new role.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not yet, but hopefully.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm saying it prophetically. Hey.
Ami, Ami, Ami. Thank
Nana
you.
Kunedo, you
Okay.
see for us.
Yes. All
Thank
right,
you.
Adama. Thank you for introducing your colleague. So, if nobody else has anything to say, would like to continue, and would definitely have a session for questions and answers and suggestions. So, at that point, if you have anything you want to share with us, you may do so. Before I continue, can you all still see my screen? Can you see my screen? My thumbs up or anything?
No,
Okay.
I can. Okay, yes, I can.
Okay, okay, thank you. All right, so yes, that is it about the values and oh, Bella says she can't see. Okay, let me just stop sharing and reshare and then we can continue. Um, okay, can we see now? All right, great. So we already 34 minutes past time, so I'll just rush through the templates and then I'll make it available for anybody who might want to um make reference to it at any point in their personal planning. So this is it for your values. You are defining yourself, your ideal self, whoever you have in mind to become. And this is a little guide to that. You can do more research on how you can design or define your ideal self, who you wish to be this year. And this is to help you that let's say someone else is defining you, right? Somebody else is describing who Joanna is at the end of December. What would the person say? That is basically what you're writing. So that is it for that. Then the next step. Uh, Okay, yes, so into that. Then the next step, you want to measure up your current self to your ideal self. So now you have in mind who you wish to become, and you want to look at your present self. This is who I am now. This is who I desire to be. Okay, welcome, Cynthia. So you want to define, after you've defined your ideal self, you now want to compare your present self to your ideal self. Who am I now? How close is she to who I wish to be? Like for some of us, yeah, some of us here, no, not some of us. Some people here have got it figured out. They know who they are, and they love this version of themselves. Not unconditional love, but the kind of love where you're sure of who you are and you love her because that is your ideal self. That is who you've always wanted to be. That's great. But for those of us who haven't yet figured out our ideals of who we want to be, and we are nowhere close to being that person, this works great for us. So now you're measuring up. Instead of you comparing yourself to other people, you're comparing yourself to who you want to become. And in doing that, it's not to beat yourself down, but it's to just give you clarity on the steps to take to become that person. So now you're looking at hey, please, does it sound like there's too much echo in the room? Okay, I'll just go ahead. So you're measuring yourself, you're comparing your present self to your ideal self, and then you're looking at the areas where this present self is lacking. So this is who I want to be. I want her to be a sophisticated, classy, beautiful, healthy, confident young woman. Then you look at your current self and you're nowhere near confident. Like in fact, you are below the belt confident. No problem. You've taken the first step in identifying that this is where I'm lacking and this is where I want to get to. So that is what this step is talking about. So you write down the parts of you that are lacking, where you think you are close, and then where you think you are not close. And then now you know which parts of yourself. So it's basically like your SWOT analysis. These are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, but in comparison to who you want to become. Are we getting there? Okay, so for the next one, you want to write down your focus for the year. Now you know who you want to become. You've written a few things down. Your head is in the right place. You've meditated. You're in the mood. You are in that zone. So you want to write down your focus for the year. What am I focusing on this year? Amidst everything. Like if 100 things go wrong this year, what do I want to keep? What must work at all costs, right? This is what this point is talking about. So perhaps your focus for the year is to be happy, right? Yeah, you just want to be happy this year. Maybe last year you were drooling a lot, you were moping around, you didn't want to go out, you were almost suicidal. And intentionally this year you want to be a happy person. You want to be happy. So it means that regardless of anything that happens in this year, you're maintaining your state of happiness, and this helps you to invest into that. So what would make you happy? Even if work is stressing you, what are some of the things that you can do to keep yourself happy? That is your focus. Maybe your focus is to graduate school, so you're in final year. That is your focus. Like honestly, if you're in final year in school, I don't think anything matters more than you finishing school with a good GPA, enjoying your graduation, and then moving on to your national service. So that is what this focus thing is about. And it could be a lot of things. Maybe you finish school, you're working, you want to make money this year. Oh my gosh, this is for me. you want you want to make money this year. That is your focus. If it's your focus, it means that you're going to either look for multiple streams of income, you're either going to save more, you're going to invest, so that is your focus. In everything you do at the end of the year, you want to make sure that you have money in your hands. So this is what the focus is about. If everything goes wrong, I want to make sure this particular thing doesn't. Are we there? Okay, then we move to our personal development plan now. Like, what are some of the areas where I want to see growth? And usually there are like specific areas. So there's like financial, there's health, there's professional growth, there's family or relationships and all that. So you list down all these areas, and then there are some that may be more important to you. Maybe you are working, so it's not if you look at vision boards and plans all over, they give you all this list of areas, but it may not all apply to you, right? But if you're looking at holistic growth, it means that whether one area is working or not, you still want to do better. So even if you are financially okay, you still want to take a step further to get better at your finances. Oh, my internet is gone. Can you give me a minute to connect? Hi guys, hi ladies. So I'll, our power went out and our Starlink also decided to give up. So yes, I'm back. We'll try and oh, oh my gosh. Hi, do I still have you guys? My internet. Hi, do I still have you guys? My internet is disconnected, but I'll try to get stable again. So,
Hi,
okay. All
yeah,
right.
here.
Okay. So yes, these are your personal development areas. Like I was saying, they may not all apply to you. So you list the ones that are more important to you, and then list the ones that come closely to those ones. And under this personal development areas, you want to write down your goals for each one. So, eh, okay, I think this. Let's just go to my word. Okay, so under each of these personal development areas, you want to write down your goals for that area. So let's take the first one. Say your personal development area is finance. Um, you want to look at your goals, your financial goals. And so under each of these personal development areas, we are taking, for instance, your financial area, and your goal for that area is one, probably to increase your income, and you want to make it smart. So generally, you want to increase your income, but how do you want to increase your income? And it's in this measure. So you want to list down your objectives under each of these goals. So your goal is your personal development area is financial. Your goal under this area, your first goal under this area is identify a to increase your income, and you want to increase your income at least by 30% by December. So this is your goal. What are you going to do? Like, what are the steps under this goal to get you closer to your goal? And those are your objectives. So the first one is you want to at least identify two high income skills, and take, if you don't already have these skills, you want to at least identify them. If you have a day job, it means you need a side job, you're either retailing, the objectives tell you how step by step or the little steps that will take you to the goal. So you're identifying two high income skills and then you take the courses. So you want to gain the skills, acquire the skills, you want to apply to jobs, you want to start a business, right? So that shows you how you are going to achieve the goal and then in the long run grow in that area of your life. So I wouldn't take more of the examples. I'll just keep to the next step. The next step is to break down your plan on a quarterly basis. So now you have the plan, you have who you want to become, you have your personal development areas, and you've listed the goals under each of these areas, and under each of the goals you've listed the objectives or the minute steps that you're going to take to achieve the goals and eventually achieve your growth in those areas. So you want to break down this plan into quarterly basis. So from January to March, this and this and this is what I want to achieve. And for each of the month, the quarters, I want you to have a focus for the quarter. So you have a general focus for the year, and but after that focus, you want to have one for each quarter. So perhaps your big goal for this quarter is to complete or skills training or skills acquisition. That's your big goal for the quarter, which means that at the end of the quarter, you should have acquired some skills, even if it's just one, because that was your focus for the quarter. But aside your focus, you break down also your goals in smaller steps. So, for instance, your big goal for financial is to have more income, right? So, for this quarter, the steps you are taking to acquire more income in the first year, at the first quarter, is to acquire more skills. And that, I hope like that explains the breaking down into quarters. If that explains it, kind of use okay, great. Then the next step is to describe a typical day in your life. So when you're doing that for the quarters, you're doing for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and that's extensive. Like you may use 2 or 3 or 4 pages for that. Then now you want to describe a typical day in your life. Some of us, we don't have any balance. We come to work at 7 a.m., we go back at 10 p.m., we sleep. Sometimes we don't even bath, we don't even eat, we don't even do anything. We wake up in the morning. We don't have a life. Somebody like Rodalyn, she doesn't have a life. She just comes to work every day. Yes, so but this year you're not going to do that. Growth means you are growing in every area, not just coming to work and going back home, not just going to school and going back home. So you're describing a typical day in your life, and this covers what you're doing in a day. You're writing every tiny thing down, right? I wake up at this time, I do this, I sleep, I travel, I call my mom, I call my dad, I call my siblings and everything. I come to work, I eat 3 times a day. You're describing a typical day in your life. And in describing this typical day, you want to um Joanna doesn't joke with her time. She That doesn't joke with the time. Anyway, so you've described a typical day in your life, and that is nice. So that throughout the year, when your days start looking like you are just getting by or you're just drifting and floating, you come back to this and you say, nah, this is not what I plan to do, right? Then we move to the next one. You want to write down your weekly routine with fixed and non-negotiable elements. So this might take a lot of work. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Sunday, you want to look at a timetable for your week. So you take them day by day. Monday, what do I do? I wake up at 5 a.m. You can write rising time, sleep time. You want to write what you're going to do throughout the day, right? At least it's to give yourself an idea, a concept of what your Monday looks like. So in the previous step, you're just talking about a typical day, an average day. How does your day look like on average, right? When somebody asks you how does your day look like, you don't say, oh, I just wake up, come to work and go back. And that is what that stage is tackling. The next step is going into the details for each day. So you're doing from Monday, Tuesday, and you know that from Mondays to Fridays, you're either doing, those who are working are doing work stuff, and then you have weekends. So each day may look slightly different. And that is what this routine is doing. Aside you just having an idea of what your week looks like, it's also to help you put your goals into your days, right? So you have these big goals. What do you do every single day that will culminate into you achieving the goals? If you wrote that you want to um say become more healthy or become more fit, what are you going to do every single day to do that? It means that at least you're telling yourself that in a day I want to drink 8 glasses of water, I want to eat 3 square meals. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. So having this picture of your weekly routine gives you an opportunity to break down your goals into tiny, tiny bits into your days, your individual days. And the more you do that, it's like building habits. So this is for you to build habits, the tiny, tiny things you do every day, and which becomes habits, which becomes your character, and then which builds into your personality, and ultimately becomes this ideal self of yours that you wrote, right? So that is your weekly. And in putting together your weekly routine, you want to ensure that you include fixed things. So if I don't do anything at all this day, this is at least I should have done this. I want to pray on Fridays at this time. Those are your fixed things. Now my battery has given me warning signal, which means that we may end very soon. But I want to just quickly show you this. You can see my screen. So now you have your plan and everything together. You need to put some checks in place. If I'm drifting apart, what do I need to do to bring myself back? Personally, something that keeps me grounded is to take a walk. Like when I feel like I'm going crazy, I just take a walk and everything comes back together. Or I want to worship, or I want to talk to my parents. Those things, bring me back, center me. So those are your checks. Then you want to put together your vision board like we did last year. You want to put these goals into a picture, how something you can see every day, and we may go more into the vision board when we have a physical meeting. But for now, you at least have your plan, and if you're able to put that into a vision board, great. And this helps you to wake up every day, you look at it, it reminds you, and then you go by your plan. Then you want to journal. This is also something Joanna mentioned when we met in December, right? She says document your life, and it's great to write because sometimes I go back to my diaries. I have this heap of diaries in my room. I go back to them, those from when I was in school, and I find trends and patterns. There are some things I talk about almost every year, almost every month. It gives you an idea how your life is going. Journaling helps you to remember, right? So let's try this year to journal a lot. Great. Then we want to, all right, I'll do that. I'll do that. Then we want to move to accountability. Yeah, we all make plans and we are all trying to be disciplined and all that. But yeah, there may come a time where you may lose track and something might discourage you. An obstacle may come your way. You may lose a loved one and things to spiral into a different direction. You need somebody who would, from time to time check in with you and say, hey, how are you doing? Are you working on this? You said you were going to do this. Are you making progress? That is what we call an accountability partner. And if we are all open to it, we can match accountability partners within the Node Women group so that yeah, we help each other towards our goal. The final one is to start now. Yes, we've been talking about planning since last year, and starting now also has to do with the plan itself. Like I know I've been thinking of putting together my personal development plan since like November, December last year, and it took me a long time to do that because just sitting down and going through those templates, thinking, putting in the work, the mental power to do this, I've been running away from it. But it's good to do it now. And even if you tackle just one component of your plan. That is a step in the right direction. Every day you look at the plan, you build up on it, and you have it together. And yes, let me just say that your plan is not fixed. It's not something you can't change along the way. If something different comes your way, you can always change your plan. So it's good to go over. But if you don't have any plan at all, things will just come and move you in directions. But you have your plan now, so you can change it along the way as you go.